Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We got more Black Sabbath for you today. This is going to be our third track from Black Sabbath. We've done Paranoid, War Pigs, and now we're doing Iron Man. They've got some pretty cool names of the songs.
They do, yeah.
You know, and so this version that we're doing is, I don't think, anything related to the Iron Man of Marvel Comics.
Iron Man?
Yeah, I think this was created either before that or, you know, around the similar time period, but it wasn't resembling the comic itself. However, from what I understand, they ended up using it in Iron Man movies later on. In 2008, I think it was featured, and 2010, I think maybe, for a trailer or something like that.
Okay.
And then they were saying that Robert Downey Jr. was wearing a Black Sabbath t-shirt in the Avengers movie. So this is how kind of Iron Man plays into that aspect.
Yeah. So Iron Man stole it from Black Sabbath, not the other way around.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, but I think there is like a character that Iron Man is from this song. It's just not the same character.
Cool.
With that said, I don't know if we've ever heard this before. I don't think we have. I've never, heard the name Black Sabbath, Iron Man, but because it's been featured in some of these trailers and the movie,
know.
I've watched the Iron Man movie, so I might recognize a portion or two of it. But we're getting into our third one from Black Sabbath. I really enjoyed War Pigs.
Yeah, me too. I like that one.
That was a really sick song.
I'd say that one was my favorite out of the two so far.
Yeah, I mean, the Paranoid was kind of the intro to us, right? But we haven't seen War Pigs live, so if you guys want us to check out War Pigs live, let us know by leaving a comment below with the right link and the suggestion for that performance, because I think it is well known to be performed live well, so we'd like to check that out. But you guys can let us know if you want to see that as well. Anyways, you ready to check out some Iron Man?
I am. Let's do it.
Let's go. Pretty cool intro. Okay, so I recognize that guitar riff.
So do I, but I don't really recognize the vocal.
No, not at all. But I think, like I said, that might have been what I recognize, is that riff when they played that in the actual Iron Man. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, you recognize that as well?
Yes.
All right. Such a fire riff. This is fire.
Yeah, and it's weird because, like I said, I recognize the riff, but I don't really recognize any of the vocal. So it's like new, but not new at the same time.
Yeah, one thing that's really interesting about his vocal is that we mentioned before, I think it was Paranoid, we said more so than in War Pigs, that his vocal sounded almost awkward in a way, you know, Ozzy Osbourne. And, but this one, I think it fits perfectly. Like the way he's singing his vocal, telling this story, fits in perfect with the riff.
Yeah.
It's like, it's
The
seamless.
timing of it, yeah.
Yeah, and so I don't know if they made it that way or, you know, how they put it together, but love that. And, you know, obviously it's a cool story, right? He's really capturing you with that vocal and the storytelling.
I was about to say, I like the storytelling aspect of it.
Yeah, about, you know, he's trying to save mankind, but then they don't want him, so he's going to plot his vengeance.
Yeah.
And he was turned into steel and all this other stuff,
From the
right?
magnetic field.
Yeah, exactly. So it's cool to hear the story that he's painting. You can see the picture, kind of visualize it. I'm glad that we kind of did that introduction, knowing that it isn't about the original Iron Man, because I probably would have, you know, misplaced that and got confused a bit.
Yeah.
And threw me off. So I like that we know that this is just a story that's different.
Separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm really enjoying, like I said, the guitar riffs fire. I like how they, you know, kind of fill it in with the percussion and keep everything really tight. And then his vocal on top of that sits in.
Yeah, I really like that his vocal, like his voice is very unique and it's different, like we had talked about before. But I like that it's still very clear and you can hear what he's saying because he's telling the story, like we talked about, right? So I feel like it's important to be able to hear each bit so you can stay more engaged and, like you said, like kind of hang on his words of like, okay, like what's happening in the story.
Yeah, and like we mentioned before, it's not something I would have expected to say was great clarity from Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, but again, it's like I'm picking up everything.
Yeah.
So.
Now the time is here for Iron Man to spread fear. Vengeance from the grave kills the people he once saved. Nobody wants him. They just turn their heads. Nobody helps him. Now he has his revenge.
Okay. Fire transition.
Heavy boots of lead fills his victims full of dread. Running as fast as they can, Iron Man lives
We're not done yet.
Drums. wild.
Yeah, it's funny that the song isn't, for the current Iron Man, because I feel like it would be applicable perfectly,
Yeah.
for a soundtrack for it or whatever, right? I really loved the transitions in there, how we went from changing, midpoint in the riff, guitar riff and the bass riff. I love the bass riff as well. They really turned up on that one. And another thing I really enjoyed was that's very different than I think we've heard in a lot of other sounds. It's like this tribal drum feel that they give off.
Yeah.
It's the percussion is very it gives me a tribal feel,
Yeah.
which is very interesting with the guitar work and the bass and the vocal that they have. It's very unique. And
Tribal is like the perfect word because like I was envisioning in my head like almost like the hand drums, like how they're like
yeah.
like that's what they use in tribes. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's got that, like I said, tribal sound. So that combined all together with the storytelling aspect and this epic guitar riff that's obviously legendary in its own right, 53 years, and
That's crazy.
we can still recognize it off a whim. It might have been played. That might be something they might play as like a introduction at sports games
maybe.
or whatever, those little breaks that they have where you might hear that, really epic riff, right? So I really enjoyed the switch ups that they had. All around great song.
Yeah, and I really liked in the middle how they had that kind of break with the guitar solo, but like just past halfway through, and then at the end again. Like I really liked those two pieces.
Cool. So you enjoyed that and the song as well?
Yeah, it was good.
You seemed like you were jamming out pretty hard over there.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about Iron Man? Good guy, bad guy?
Well, I don't know. That's the one thing I would say that doesn't line up for me between this and the movie, and I can see how it's different. Is that like, well, not the movie, just the movie, the comics, I guess, the story of the Marvel.
Well, when I said that, I was referring to the sound.
Yes.
Is relevant
see
to
it.
what you would think of hearing in an Iron
Like
Man
him
movie.
flying
Or,
through the air.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you were saying about
I was just saying that's the one thing, like story-wise, it makes sense why it's different because obviously in this he tries to be good, but then people don't accept him, so he's like, all right, I'm bringing my vengeance.
I think that did happen in one of the Iron
did
Mans.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I just don't remember. There's a lot of them.
Maybe it was one of the ones that they used it in.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it was cool because, we were saying Iron Man, in this version seems like he's a little bit darker.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
And so it's cool, different take on it. But anyways, I enjoyed the song. Hopefully you
I
guys
did too.
enjoyed our reaction. Hit the like button. If you did, leave us a comment. As always, guys, we appreciate the engagement. We appreciate all the support from all you amazing subscribers, getting us to 100,000 subscribers. If we're not there yet, we will be very soon.
On the way.
Because you guys support us come through, and we really appreciate that. So thank you. And this is your channel as much as it is ours.
Thank you so much, guys.
All you got to do now, if you haven't subscribed, is join the team and see us on our next one.
Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.